Maybe there should be a question mark there. The first service, we took a vote. We took a vote on good dad, bad dad. So, Homer Simpson, good dad, bad dad. Bad, okay, they're all saying bad. These folks have not voted yet. And a thumbs up. Nemo's dad, Mark. Thumbs up, that's good dad. Dick Van Dyke from Choo Choo Bang Bang. Okay, there were some out there that were kids when I was kids and saw Choo Choo Bang Bang. That's a good dad. That's a good dad. What about Walt? I guess. These are all stereotypes, right? Even Mr. Incredible there is a stereotype. Stereotypes are powerful. We use them so much in life, and it's amazing how much stereotypes impact our relationships and everything else. I've been at camp all week, and I drink I drink way more coffee than I normally drink. And I had a lot more tea than I had none of this stuff, so I'm kind of waiting until I got here today to have some.
What is that?
It's definitely stuff. So, wow, I should have more of this at camp. That would have been better for me. I did bring a glass if you want some, I can give you some.
Oh.
Ow.
What is it?
Perception. How did that just work? Right?
Oh, we didn't do that in the first service.
No, that was not a first service. But that's to illustrate the power of perception. When you first saw the can come out of the bag, you weren't expecting milk, were you?
Church.
That was with a can with some milk in it. We do that every single day with the people that we meet. And people do that to us. Here's stereotype dad. This was parentsociety.com. Here are a list of watches a lot of football, works hard, takes out the garbage, doesn't cry, right? Sits on the couch a lot, and likes bacon. The bacon was not on the list. I added the bacon because I like bacon, so I assume all dads like at least some bacon, right? Okay, bacon, good dad bacon. This is a huge stereotype. When we think of dad, Father's Day, how often is this, maybe it wasn't exactly who our dad is, but in general terms, how often do we think of this as dad? So the problem is, stereotypes, emasculation, kingdoms, they all blunt, bottle, and block love. When we put the filter of a stereotype on another person, I mean, this works whether it's Mother's Day, or Cousin's Day, or Sibling Day. When we put a stereotype on someone, we blunt, bottle, and block their ability to love us and our ability to love them. When we emasculate someone, when we, out of our own brokenness, require someone else to be less than who they are, we ask a dad to be less than manly, or whatever it is for that person to be a dad, we blunt, bottle, and block their power to love us. Even in the best of intention, when we give them their own kingdom, a man room, or the couch during that designated football time, because that's all we're going to give them, we blunt, bottle, and block their ability to love us. Because all that stuff prevents authenticity. It stops us and the other person from being authentic. Because now we're asking them to live a stereotype. And we're rewarding and punishing them based on their living up to that stereotype. This has nothing to do with love, right? Now it's all about things. And stereotypes are wonderful because they make the world so much easier for us. stereotypes just give us easy ways to put people in boxes. You looked at that can and you had an instant thought in your head. We look at a person, we have an instant thought in our head on where they belong, where they fit, where they should be in our stratification of life. Stereotypes are wonderful that way. They just make things easier. But at the same time, they blunt, bottle, and block our ability to love. Prodigal son story in the Bible, it's one of my favorites. It's usually a great example of God as dad. But what if we apply that to us as dads? We have the son who, you've read the story. He asks his dad to play like he's already gone and give the son the inheritance. And then he takes the inheritance and runs off and lives a wild lifestyle until all the money's gone and he's ruined his reputation. And then he comes crawling home asking for forgiveness. So, stereotype dad, when son comes home, what does stereotype dad do? Beats him senseless. Okay, we'll make that the overarching theme of what might happen. It might not actually be a big stick, but that's often in our heads, that stereotype dad. It's not a happy response. In this story, the response of the dad is while the son's still far way off. He's just been seen in the neighborhood. He's not even made it home. And dad goes running out. Stereotype dad goes running out to do maybe what Henry said, right? Or something like that. Rain down the punishment or something. That's what stereotype. This is not stereotype dad. This is authentic dad. This is dad that runs out, embraces his son, and kisses him. That's love. That's not worrying about peer pressure. That's not worrying about community comments. That is acting on love. He doesn't care. The neighbors have probably talked about his kid the whole time he's been gone, right? They all know what happened. They all know, oh yeah, did you see in the big city there was so-and-so's kid, and he was out there doing his thing, and they all talked about it. And here's a dad that could care less. All he cared about was his son and how much he loved him, and he acted on that. That's authentic dad. Going on with the story. This is in Luke 15 if you want to look it up. So the son starts his speech, and we've all been there, right? As kids, as just human beings, we've had our rehearsed speech. We've broken something, or we've acted in a broken way, and so we developed. And maybe we tried this out. We had our excuse, and we tried it out on our friends. Hey, is this going to work for me? Or our siblings. Hey, you think they'll believe this story? Or maybe we'll back each other up on this story. So the son started his speech, and dad's not even listening, because it says father wasn't listening. He was already calling his servants. He was already planning the party. He didn't wait to hear rationale or reasoning. He was already planning the party, and in the Message version it says they began to have a wonderful time. Stereotype dad story doesn't end that way, does it? It can be very funny though. For comedians, stereotype dad is rich material. And this story would have a hilarious ending that would be completely messed up and not a story that any of us would want to live. But authentic dad, this is how the story ends up. So that same website had a list of, if you were an authentic dad, you might be like this. So authentic dad might be vulnerable, right? Sensitive, silly, stays home instead of going out with the boys all the time, and likes bacon a lot. I threw the bacon back in again. It was authentic to me, so it stayed on the list. If we make authentic dad's characteristics our first thought when we think of dad, or we think of how we relate to other people, these become conduits for love. These become the ways in which we express love. We make ourselves vulnerable to the other person so that love can actually flow and not be all hung up in the filters of stereotypes. We're sensitive. We can receive love from someone else. And we're silly because love isn't all serious all the time. It, matter of fact, makes us do some very silly things when we love someone. Boys will let girls do crazy things to their face. It's just amazing. I used to let my sister curl my hair for dates because love made me do silly things. And they stay home. Because if you're not at home with the family, how can you love the family? There's times you cannot be at home. We have to work and do other stuff, and we do deserve our own time away, all of us. But if you're more often not at home than you are at home, how can we share this love? And bacon is just lovely, right? You were waiting for it, I know. It was on the list right there. Right there. 1 Corinthians 13 is often called the love chapter. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. The greatest of this is love. Faith, the content of faith is so much about love, right? We believe and we crave. Our faith in God is for God's love for us. God's love that will renew us and redeem us and reconcile us, that will heal us and give us eternal life, will embrace us and hold us and accept us at all times. It will be like the prodigal dad's son. It will run out and chase us down when we ourselves are broken. Our hope for all that stuff, for relationships that have a happy conclusion, not a messed up comedic story, but instead one that gives life. Where relationships aren't about tearing the other person down so that they meet our needs, but where we ourselves are able to meet their needs so they can be more than. So that two people together are more than just two, but they're experiencing life in a grand way because of love. It's powerful. Love is more powerful than stereotypes. But if we're going to be taking the easy path and following the stereotypes, we will always blunt, bottle, and block the love that's all around us. Happy Father's Day.